Good afternoon, TBCians all over the world. This is Emmanuel Ntiniswa coming live all the way from the Republic of South Africa. Today is a Sunday afternoon. It's a sunny day this side in Johannesburg, Soweto. I would love to join all the broadcasters all over the world, echoing one word, one voice, one mission of the billion coin. Today again, I'm so excited to have this opportunity to come live through this live broadcast. As it is a Sunday afternoon, I've just come from church. So I just came rushing to come and have an opportunity to meet with you, my dear partners, my dear leaders. Let us go together to the blog. We've got the newest updates today. Since you know that we broadcasters, our responsibility is to pass on the message that has been posted to the admin by our that has been posted to the TBC blog by admin. There is a new heading here which says we are at the end of PDT and the send button meetings will be 1 hour later. Since you know tomorrow, according to us, Monday, we are going to have the English send button meeting conducted by Mr. Randy Wilson. So I just want to via this topic, but I've got the main topic of the day. But let us start on this one. It says we are at the end of the PDT and send button meetings will be 1 hour later. This is a poster which was posted on the 4th of November, which is today, November the 4th, 2018. Reminder, fall back, daylight saving time ends at 2 a.m. on Sunday. Remember to set your clocks back 1 hour before going to bed tonight. It goes on to say here, if you are outside of the United States, be aware that the send button meetings will be 1 hour later than what you are accustomed to. So adjust it with it and be on time 1 hour later. This is a poster here. I'm reading it from the Billion Coin CleanTheCash.com YouTube channel. It also says don't miss the every weekly send button meetings. Leaders have been consistent and focused on TBC for a global community. Then what about you? It goes on to say follow your dreams. Cook rewards redemption. Focus on 1 billion members. It says don't forget. Now let us click on this other second subheading here, which says exceptions to policy limitation of 100 TBC only coming from cookie rewards. A poster article. I want us to dwell on this one. Exceptions to the policy limitation of 100 TBC only coming from cookie rewards. A redemption period begins the 1st of November. It has begun. We are on the redemption period. Now, let us read from the blog, ladies and gentlemen. It says, in this article, I will cover why some exceptions will be made to the policy of the maximum amount of TBC coins that can be given to an individual through cookie rewards is 100 lifetime total TBC coins. There's a link here, but I won't get in there. Let me just go on. Before I get into these exceptions, I need to make a few things very clear. TBC is not a currency with a mission. It is a mission with a currency. You understand? TBC, let me highlight it, is a currency with a mission. Is not a currency with a mission. It is a mission with a currency. When you start the public notice, this becomes more clear. There is the public notice, which I love to remind through this media that this is for us to read. It came out on the 1st of October 2018. Please read this article. It's a long article. I remember when it came out, I broadcasted about it. So please, here it is. Read it, take your time. It's a long article, it's a long item. Let us read it time and again so that we understand exactly where TBC is taking us to. Please let us read the public notice, especially as TBC members, so that we are on the same understanding. Let me just go back to my article. Let me stop here. Let me just take you back to my article once again. I want to go back to one of these articles which I want to continue broadcasting to you. Here is the article which I wanted us to have a look together. The issue of the 100 TBCs. Let me go back to the article. Just hold on for me. Right. There we go. Here you come. I was reading on this article. Also, you should know a legal structure. Where was I? Before I get into those exceptions, I need to make a few things very clear. TBC is not a currency with a mission. It is a mission with a currency. When you start the public notices, this becomes more clear. Also, you should know a legal structure has been put in place where all 1 billion TBC coins are in a master trust, and a sub-trust is created for every TBC wallet, and the coins they hold beneath the master trust. You don't own TBC. Before you get a send button in your TBC wallet, you must pass the send button test, right? Let's look at the question 2. Because we are a private community, we are entitled to self-regulation with our centralized coin network, and discounters of our coin will have their second send buttons turned off by admin. Other abusive behavior within our community could also result in the same thing. If a member's send button is turned off, they will be given a period of time to reform, and then they can get their send button turned back on. We have seen that decentralized coins tend to lose their value because of a small number of people. Discounting them will drive the price down sharply and ultimately create loss for all users of those coins. A coin such as ours, which is based on the principle of abundance, requires a responsible admin to regulate its use centrally. The best way to view our coin is as a community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. Are you allowed to transact with our coin at any price of your choosing? No, our coin is part of a private community, and we have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. Yes, you purchase the coin and it's a property to use or as you wish at whatever price you want. You remember these questions which we come across when we deal with the send pattern meetings test. So this is the next one is the correct answer is no. Our coin is part of a private community and we have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. Yes, of course. Pay close attention to these sentences. The best way to view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. Once you understand how the sub-trust protects you and the whole TBC community, you will get very excited. Let me give you an example of the principle here. The principle is to own nothing and control much. To a poor person, this may not make sense, but rich people already understand this principle. So in this example, there are two dogs. There are two dogs. A poor man owns and a dog, and licenses the dog under his own name. And the dog bites a wealthy man. The wealthy man sues the poor man in court and wins and garnishes his wages to pay off the judgment. And the poor man becomes poorer. The second dog belongs to a trust. A rich man set up for that dog. And the only thing in that trust is the dog. That dog buys a poor woman, and she thinks she will suddenly become rich by suing the rich man. But the case is dismissed because the rich man does not own the dog, and there is no money in the trust. The point to this example is to welcome the legal structure of TBC and don't obsess over not owning TBC. Members, we need to read this and really understand this here. Now it goes on to say the problem with the current financial structure is corruption. Corruption has completely taken over, allowing the hoarding of wealthy away from the mass majority. It is pure evil that 1% or 99% of all the wealth in the world, leaving about 50% of wealth population in abject poverty. What a waste of human potential. Strip away the means of a man, and that man is likely to lead a meaningless life. Hope you can see how evil it is. This is the reason TBC has been forging a new path away. We are going our own way, centered on truths and not lies. 100 TBC coins is worth a great deal today, and they will become massive once we reach our objective of 1 billion members. We have 3,309,852 members at the moment of writing this article. So that means that TBC coin is worth 3,309,852 grains of gold. And when we use this third-party calculator, it shows 8,496,665.90. If you go here on this calculator, you put that amount of money, it's going to show you times that by 100 TBC coins, and that equals 849,666,590 US dollars. Then when we reach our objective of 1 billion members, those same 100 TBC coins will be worth 100 billion grains of gold, which is so big this calculator can't process it, but it is roughly 250 billion US dollars. At some point, you can draw the conclusion of having too much abundance, especially when you understand the responsibilities that come with having a stewardship. Yes, the TBC billionaires will be the ones erecting future skyscrapers and establishing institutions of their own. And they will be able to provide liquidity to the TBC millionaires they align with in this grand mission to raise up humanity. But in order for an economy to work, there needs to be some friction between socio-economic classes, and not everyone can be a billionaire. Another thing to consider is that there are exactly 1 billion TBC coins. If it was too easy to get 100 TBC coins, then once 10 million members collected them, the admin wallet would run to zero prematurely, and that would be the end of the cookie rewards. And without further incentive to offer, we most likely would not be able to get to 1 billion members. Frankly, if you manage to hit this limitation, you shouldn't be concerned about getting even more TBC coins. You should be even more excited and work even harder to help the community get to 1 billion members, knowing that the incentive is to mature your coins to $250 billion. That's a massive stewardship. The TBC community will expect much from you. TBC was never meant to be a mission of a personal gain only. You, dear ladies and gentlemen, it's a long article today. It's long reading. Let me continue. We do want to raise all members up in the end. Worst case scenario, you will become a TBC millionaire. A simple transaction of 40 grams worth of Kringles will result in TBC millionaire status, and it doesn't get easier than that to become a millionaire. What I find interesting in the notion that today you could do such a transaction and then immediately go through the redemption process, and out of sheer ignorance, some people think they should be able to cash it all in. Where do these people think that money is coming from? We are in the distribution phase, people. Movement in the millions, such as that would only be available once a mature, fully blown TBC Kringle economy has been established. Think of the distribution phase like a condominium skyscraper being built, and condos are being sold long before they are built. People literally are buying air at first. Maybe the foundation has been built and people are buying condos on the 10th floor already. The 10th floor won't exist for at least a year, and the people feel like they are getting a bargain with their purchase, and they are not wrong. So I think I have cleared up a lot there before getting into the exceptions of the 100 TBC cookie rewards limit. All exceptions relate to building up memberships in TBC. Let's look at how a member could even get to this 100 TBC limit in the first place. Broadcasters certainly have the advantage here. Broadcasters get 1 million cookies for every send button meetings they view. They would have to view 10,000 meetings to hit the limit of 100 TBC coins. That's not likely to ever happen. They also get 1 million cookies for every broadcast that they do. And again, it would take 10,000 broadcasters to hit the limit. So meetings and broadcasts are not going to ever reach that limit alone. Broadcasters do get 100 cookies for each exchange of 40 grams. and it could cost about $10 million worth of cringes to hit the limit. I can see that happening in a few cases, but in principle, we don't want to exceed the 100 TBC limit based solely on large purchases. That was the main reason I wrote this previous article saying cookie rewards is not available for institutions. A basic millionaire member that doesn't broadcast gets 100 cookies, 100,000 cookies for the same transaction. It could cost them $10 million worth of TBC to hit the limit. So far, they are not the ways members would even hit the limit. Builders that sponsor 100 new members get 1 billion cookies for each set of 100 people. So a big builder that signs up 1,000 new members could hit this limit. Unfortunately, scammers have swarmed around the TBC community, taking advantage of wherever they can. In the past 2 redemption periods, all referrals counted towards cookie rewards, and the email verification was all that was required. Have you noticed most of the recruiting services around TBC dried up and went away once membership was based on paid status and not just email verified? Admin has seen a lot of obvious fraud coming from these recruiting services, and the change to paid status corrected that situation. So if you have earned enough cookie rewards that exceeds the 100 TBC limit based on sign-ups and send in a support ticket asking for an exception, they better be really referrals. For now, if you're signed up over 1,000 paid referrals and ask for an exception, I can accept that and issue the addition TBC coins as and deserving the reward. But if you try to scam admin by claiming all your email verified non-paid sign-ups are real, then you will need to prove it. Then get them to become paid and have them complete their profiles. A true builder doesn't sign up people and immediately abandon them. Being a sponsor comes with some responsibility to encourage their recruits to fully plug into the TBC community. We are turning people into millionaires and billionaires, for goodness sake. Why wouldn't they want to fully plug in? I'm just going to say it. If you think you deserve to get more than 100 TBC coins for a half-assessed job of your part, you are crazy. On the other hand, if you have carefully read the blog, I have shown you many ways to be a big builder, and you can get thousands of new members in paid status and plugged into TBC community. And for those kind of builders, I really don't have a limit for you. Send in a support ticket and make your case. If you have clean up paid referrals and they have completed their profiles, then you fit into the exception and admin will reward you beyond the limitation. All right. Many of you run large meetings and have set up a good system to sign up thousands of people, or perhaps you have partnered with a number of merchants and they pass out your business cards. I could go along with that as long as you followed up with each that signed up. Some sales funnels could also produce thousands of paid referrals. So like I said, all exceptions relate to building up memberships in TBC. We will look at each situation on a case-by-case basis. This article will be required reading if you present a case through the helping desk, and we will investigate honesty. We will investigate. Honesty is the best policy. Yo, here is the big case here. Here is the big thing, the big story. Ladies and gentlemen, I was reading from the blog. We need to take enough time to go over this article once again so that we can agitate, we can understand, we can discuss amongst each other and help each other understand further, especially the issue if you are a community builder. Normally, all 100 signed up members in your team will give you 10 full coins, which is about 1 million cookies. You understand? So let us see that all people who are signed in, who sign in or register through us, they have to be paid up members. Because if you are going to have people, you continue registering people who are not paid up members. That is what they are talking about. The limitation will only be equal to 100 TBC full coins. But if your referrals, even if there are thousands, if they are paid up members, then you will be compensated according to your effort. This is what the admin is trying to tell us or explain to us. Let us read that article once again, because it's a longer article. Reading it with understanding will yield better results for us. For now, ladies and gentlemen, TBCians all over the world, I would love to say to you, I am excited about this current development. Since we know also that we are in the redemption period, all of us are prepared. We are looking forward to redeem these cookies into Kringle so we can start to spend them in terms of enrolling new people into our teams or into our community. I would like to take this time once again to thank the admin for giving us this broadcasters a platform to broadcast whatever updates is coming from them. We are really, really pleased about this, and we are looking forward to carry our tasks as prescribed by the Billion Coin admin. The last item that I want to say is to say thank you very much for taking your time, for listening to my videos. I know that many people across the world are now beginning to follow me. I am trying something to actually send the message as it is from the blog. I love to salute all my leaders out there, all my community members out there, not forgetting our TBC officials who are working tirelessly in leading us towards an abundance lifestyle. For today, allow me to say bye-bye. We shall be seeing again in my next broadcast. I thank you. May God keep you under his safe hands. Thank you. Bye till we meet again.